Hello friends, James Stevenson here. I have updated my Tesla forecast. And the crowd goes wild. Yes, I have updated my Tesla forecast and will be tweeting out the charts and the tables, the fascinating numbers against a white or gray background that you're familiar with. Let's check in with my co-host Loki. We need to do that, and we need to feed Loki his breakfast, because this is an episode of Breakfast with Loki. Okay, buddy. Here you go. Breakfast. And we'll see if Loki wants to eat his breakfast or not. If he does, I will move the Loki's bed cam so you don't miss a second of the thrilling action here in the Loki's bed cam. But let's direct our attention this way to this chart that I have pulled up. That's about the best job I could do getting that to fit the frame. I am in aspect ratio hell with trying to get the aspect ratios on these charts to make sense for people on X who are viewing on their phones. They want to see it in letterbox format, right? But if you want to have me in the shot, and if you want to have Loki down here eating his breakfast in the shot, letterbox no longer fits the screen very well. So we got a little bit of wasted space down here, but best I could do framing this up. So here you go. This is the way that I've been leading off my Tesla forecast for a long time. Why? Because deliveries are the primary driver of Tesla's earnings. Tesla has been declaring record earnings in most of the quarters that they've had record deliveries. Those things go together, right? The more cars you sell, the more revenue you're going to make, the better a shot you have of having a lot of money left over at the bottom line after you pay for all the costs and expenses of running the business. So what do we have here? Well, it's a stacked bar chart. Way back here in 2018, you can see the white and the blue areas. Those were the Fremont Model S and the Fremont Model X. Those have declined in popularity as of the end of 2020. People realize that Model 3 and Model Y are pretty great, and those vehicles have taken some share away from Model S and Model X. Also, the price went up pretty high during these years. Tesla has brought that price back down. Interest rates are pretty high right now, so the payment on a $100,000 car is real high these days, you know. Interest rates over 5% for a lot of car buyers, and that makes the payments unaffordable for most people. So Tesla has brought those prices down. I don't expect any huge increase. I don't think Tesla's going to produce a lot more Model S and Model X. I think they just needed the lower prices to sell the ones they wanted to make. So that's what you'll see in Q3 and Q4. And I've got this very stable in future years, you know, making about 10,000 of each, Model S and Model X every quarter-ish, somewhere in there. Tesla doesn't break out how many S versus X, so we have to guess. Maybe one day they'll break them out by model, but for now they don't. What's on top of them on this chart? It's the Fremont-produced Model 3 in green here, so you can see how many of those I'm expecting to be delivered. You can tell the actuals are labeled here on the chart, and the forecast is here in gray. For those of you who don't know when the future is, the future is Q3 and Q4 of 2023, and the quarters that will happen after those. And the actuals are Q2 of 2023 or earlier. So yeah, I've got a lot of growth in my forecast here. The growth isn't primarily coming from Fremont Model 3s or Fremont Model Ys. You can see these are pretty stable. I do have some growth coming in from the Shanghai Model 3s, so we're expecting China to make some more of those, a lot more Shanghai-produced Model Ys. That's Tesla's export hub for supplying Europe with Model 3s and some Model Ys, and of course the rest of the world outside of the US or Europe. They're going to get their Model Ys from Shanghai in most cases. Here's one, the small robotaxi. So we got some leaked, not leaked, we got some footage from CBS. They did an interview with Walter Isaacson, who's got a biography on Elon Musk coming out. He had unprecedented access to Elon in all of his meetings, including the design review meetings for unreleased products like the robotaxi and the $25,000 car. So a compact car, surely, is what they're working on. And we don't have good details on those yet, but I am slotting in something, and I have been for a long time. If you go back and watch my videos from a year ago, my forecast from 2 years ago, I had a small robotaxi planned, but we'll get better information on that after Tesla has announced that product, and then I'll do more diligence on forecasting that. I've just got a placeholder sitting out in 2025 for now. Berlin Model Ys, they ought to be making more of those. That's this darker purple area here. Then there's the Berlin Model 3s. I think Berlin is going to start making Model 3s at the end of 2025. I could be wrong about that. We'll see if it happens or not. Then there's the Texas Model Ys. Those are in the lighter, like a violet color here. So not making more of those in Q3, making less, actually. I think Elon gave us fair warning on the earnings call for Q2 that all of Tesla's production locations would have some stoppage time for line upgrades, including Texas, where Tesla makes Model Ys. So I do have those coming down by some in Q3, but then returning to record highs in Q4, being around the same numbers in total, Q1 of 2024, and then after that, record quarter after record quarter into the future. Maybe we get some economic recovery in 2024, and that helps more people be able to afford to buy more Teslas. Then the Cybertruck is also on the chart here in gray. Cybertruck should be ramping up production throughout 2024. They are making some of them right now, but less than 100 will be made and sold this quarter, Q3 of 2023. Then you can't even see the Semi in yellow. It's barely visible here in Q3, Q4 of 2025. That's about the time I have that ramping up some. It's hard to make a lot of semis if you don't have a lot of cell supply. You would rather prioritize the other vehicles than Semi. Plus, there aren't the market isn't huge for Semi anyway, so Tesla's never going to be making lots and lots of them. They might one day make about as many Semis as they make Model S and Model X, but I'm not forecasting that. And stay tuned for later in my forecast video review series when I will walk you through the detailed assumptions that are in my model. I'm not to that part of the forecast review series yet, though. I like to start it off easy with just these pretty charts, and then toward the end, after telling you what time it is, I'll show you how I built the clock. And with that, we'll check back in with Loki, who is still laying in bed, not eating his breakfast. He'll eat it later. And I will outro and say, if you've enjoyed today's video, click the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, why not go ahead and subscribe to my channel? You can get alerts if you click the bell on YouTube to see whenever I post fresh content, like the rest of the videos in this series. And thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon or on X, or by joining my YouTube channel as my executive producers Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com did, and I'll see you in the next one.